morning, guys. Good morning. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I will be right back. I just wanted to start the stream, but I'll be back in 10 minutes. Just give me 1 minute, guys. Let me put this up. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. Let's see what we missed while we were away. Okay, markets tried to make a new high. We couldn't actually. We tested this on this wick here at 954. Let's look at the footprint. At 954, I think it was this. Well, that was an interesting break actually, because this rotation came up on low volume. We got that P that we wanted. Okay, except that there was a lot more volume built down here. So if you want to consider this as a P, you could, but only on this rotation alone. Because with the volume, I want to take out my pen here, my trusty pen. If you consider this the P, if you look at my footprint right here, you can consider this a P on this rotation alone. But the fact is, we built volume here and here. So technically speaking, if you're not looking at just this box alone, all this can be included. You know? Bunch of rotations. What can we say about these rotations? Create a box like this, perhaps? Let's try to get a more accurate box. I like this rotation, and then I like it here, because we had a lot of bounces around this level. We got rejected off of these pretty quickly. We can create a box here. Once we ended up breaking down from this box, we started building volume on that rotation. Now, I like this structure a lot better, because it's so clean. Like, it's so clean. There's no arbitration here. You know? This is very clean. I like this. So we can play around this box actually. We can look to take a trade somewhere around this box. You want to buy here, you want to sell here, and that's about a 20-point rotation. So we are still at the low of this rotation down here, building volume, which is kind of what you want to see. This failed breakout, you see how we broke out on low volume? This tells me that we don't want to go up today. I don't want to sell this just yet because I'll be chasing. Although I do think that you can chase if you want. You can go in with very minimal size based on the risk. Now this is on volume. I want to fade this. My stop's above 56. 10-point stop. I think we can go back down at least 20 points from here. Yeah. If we start to build volume, I might get a bit iffy, but I don't mind because I have a great entry right now. I'm at the top of this range. I know that above here, I'm totally wrong. I think this is a very, very good trade right now. And again, I repeat why I think this is a good trade, because we came up here on low volume, no interest to transact, built some volume, right? We came down here, and that rally, that was a rally on low volume. So I got in expecting a rejection real quick. Now it seems that we're building volume, so you got to be worried about that. The idea for entry was good, but now the reason why we entered is slowly starting to become invalid based on the fact that we're building volume. Again, I got in because there was no volume, and now that there's volume building, this could be seen as a bad sign, or it could be or it could still be seen as a good sign in the sense that we're building volume, we're absorbing buy orders so that we can continue lower. Yeah, if we go above here, I don't like it. It seems to me that this was a trap. But we're not out of the woods yet. We're under VWAP. That could be a potential resistance. We might not, yeah. It's interesting, very interesting. We're selling off quite aggressively at these levels. It's like, it's hard to read right now. Yeah, I don't want to stay in front of this trade. Like, I don't want to add to my position because this sell-off right here could be just trapped. Like, it could just be trapping more sellers based off of the fact that we got a heavy rejection. Sellers are like, ooh, I like this. They start selling. And again, see? That's it. It was a trap. That's okay. It was still a good trade because we respected our plan. We knew where we were wrong. And I'm okay taking losses like that. I'm okay taking losses like that. Now we can test midpoint of this, although I'm not a fan of this rotation because it wasn't the most accurate. If you truly want it, maybe around here, this could be midpoint 76, right? Oh, what a rejection. A crazy rejection. Where would this midpoint actually be? Here, technically speaking. This was one bounce, and then maybe here, somewhere like here, I think. Right? I think that was that good, that was a good rejection here. Now, if we come back below this rotation at 44s, you can chase this, no problem. You can chase this. You can enter here, market short, because you got all these guys that are trapped that never got to see their profits. That was just one big squeeze. We're waiting. Now we're below this volume node. That's quite bearish. I don't want this to jump up. Let's go. Pick me up at 50 and then let's go down. Pick me up at 50 and then let's continue down. Might not actually. This is very, very dangerous. Okay, watch out. I don't want us to test midpoint and then reverse from midpoint. Got to be very careful here. Got to be very careful. Tight stop. 33 could get a bounce. If we're not getting a bounce like this on 33, no. Don't like that. I don't like that. I want to scratch this trade. If I get the opportunity, I'd rather scratch it than lose on it because this should have just capitulated based off of the fact that everybody here is trapped. We got out of this rotation pretty quickly, and now we're back in it. So I might even get scratched and see the market go my way anyway, but that's okay. That is okay. See, now we're spending time above 44. This could probably go back another 10 points. This could go up 10 points. No. Let's go. Pick up. Maybe my entry wasn't the best. Pick up. There you go. Retest 70. Retest 70. Come on. I want to retest 70 quick before coming back down. I like it. I don't think 62 is going to get rejected. There you go. Now we just need 65 to go to 70. That's it. Fuck. It's okay. We're out of that trade. And we got like 15, 16 points off that trade. Not too bad. Seems to me you got to be quick today. You can't hold your profits for too long. Oh, I think we're going to make highs. I think we're attempting. This is a triple top. Look at this. This is very bullish. Very bullish. I want to buy a pullback. If I get a chance for a pullback, I want to buy it. Either we start building volume here and 83 becomes the new floor, right? But I like the structure right here on this rotation. It's a very, very strong structure to go long, simply because you had this low volume. This is everybody getting squeezed. All this is everyone getting squeezed. What I mean by squeezed, I mean these are all stops because it's such low volume. It just goes really quick from here. I don't want to buy here. I don't want to chase here, because a move like this on low volume can easily get rejected. You want to see a bit of volume be built, right? And then you want to see a push higher. So we might range, because I see some volume node here and here, we might range between 83 and 600, right? 83 and double O's. I can get in here on a very, very tight stop, but I don't want to see this come down. Yeah, 84, 83, and then you put your stop down here. Technically speaking, this is where you don't want to see it go down below 82 because of this low volume. But I put my stops a little bit below that just to give myself some wiggle room, because I don't like getting stopped and then seeing the market go above me. Now this is very, very bullish. Um, I want to see us build some time, build some volume above 601s right here, right above the IB high, and I want to see us break. I don't want to see us come back down so quickly. I don't want to see that. I don't like seeing that. I'm getting out of my trade. I don't like that quick rejection. So what can be very dangerous is if we start building a wide range of volume. So if all this, right, turns into this, I don't like seeing that. Then you have a lot of orders spread across. I don't want to see that. Because what essentially moves markets from point to point, and a lot of people can disagree with me on this, but I argue that what moves markets from point to point are trap traders, market orders like these on on this delta. Market orders are what move markets. Limit orders cannot move a market, because limit orders by definition means you're a passive buyer or a passive seller. You are waiting to get filled. But what is moving the market in your direction is the fact that somebody is willing to take your bid, take your offer, right? So market orders are what drives the market. And when do you use market orders? Think of, when would you use a market order? You use a market order when you are getting stopped out, mostly when you are getting stopped out, because you don't chase. Most people don't necessarily chase the market unless they're getting stopped out, which is why you start to see buying at highs. Why would you buy at a high? Buying at highs, it doesn't make sense, right? Traders, you're always taught to buy low, sell high. So you get all this buying at highs, because this aggressive buying at highs, these market orders at highs, because people are forced to get out of their trade. So this is good. I like this. I like this. I like this a lot. Here, I don't want to come back down in this volume node. Might get stopped out here. That's okay. Now we're just creating a rotation here, right? I can see it form. I can see this form. So you create this little box, and now you can trade out of this box. And you know that your last box was down here. Can we go up here? Nah. I think I like this better at 44. This was more accurate because you got a few rotations. We broke out, we came back down, we broke out, we came back down, right? Technically speaking, coming back down here, two things should happen. Is either we capitulate all the way down, or we break off midpoint. We bounce off of the midpoint. And so now we're seeing the same kind of rotation, the same kind of structure up here, right? This is nice on a longer term, because you get this big P right here. This is I like, these are the structures you want to see. This is very good to trade. Why it's good to trade? Not because you're always going to make money, but because you are very comfortable in this trade. Because you know exactly where you're wrong, right? Where are you wrong in this trade? Here. Here. That's where you're wrong. Let's go. I want to take out 85. I want to see if we can get fill at 85. My chance was down here, which I already got in. I got in here. I think I got in here on this rotation, or did I get in on this rotation? No, I think I got in on this rotation, which means I missed out on this trade, which means I don't know if we're going to get 85 again. I don't know if we're going to get 85 again, but we'll leave it here. And if we have to chase, we can chase. If we see, because this type of structure is poised for a big breakout to the top. We have to undo all of this overnight selling. Actually, no, what am I saying? We have to undo all of this selling. That happened on Friday. 841. Is it possible? Don't know. There's a lot of volume that was built here in a way. It's not like it came in on low volume, but there's a lot of unwinding to do. Because think about it, you break, there's this gap that we're trying to break. We can at least, at the very least, fill this gap here. We can do that. But the market just seems like it wants to break out. All right, it looks like we're gonna get filled based on. Gonna put my bid here. I'll tell you why in a second. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then that's fine. We never got filled here anyway. We were one tick away. No, that's not what I want to look at. Sorry, guys. Where's my ES? There you go. So ES is already broken out, and in all fairness, ES is already broken out of the highs. I know ES is technically at highs or above its last high. Nasdaq is following. This is very bullish for equities because you know that ES is doing the exact same thing. There's nothing that's out of whack here. It's not like ES is down here and then Nasdaq's trying to break out, right? So this is all good. We can continue to monitor the ES. I am very wary. I don't want to chase here. So there's something about this structure that gets me a bit worried simply because if I chase, I have a feeling that I can get squeezed out. So based on experience, I know Nasdaq has a tendency to trap a lot of traders. So all this, right now, the more time we're spending here, the more risky it becomes because of all the stops that people put down here. So it's very, very, very possible, okay, that what could happen is we break, get picked up here, and then we go up, right? Because we break, we take out all the stops, we're trapping in new shorts, and then we grow up, okay? I think to me right now, it's very clear that Nasdaq wants to go up. It's clear that it's trying to go up. Like, look at this. We tested the high once. We tried it a second time. We didn't even technically go below 60%. We were always within value, trying to push value higher, okay? And POC's still pretty much dab in the middle. We're above the point of control. I want to see this go down here and then go up. Maybe put it here at 81, and then we can put an order at 70. Come on, come on, come on. Fill me in. It's too strong right now. It's too strong, and I don't want to look like a fool if I chase this. I don't want to look like a fool if I'm chasing within the range. Yeah, I think a mistake. So what I should have done is I should have at least put half of my order here and then half over here, just to be safe. It's quite possible we can get our fill. So as I was saying, Nasdaq has this tendency to, in order for a market to move where it wants to move, it needs to shake people out. It just needs to. I've explained this in previous videos. I'm not going to dive into it on the stream because, well, number one, nobody's really watching this. If people are watching this, you let me know, and I will make a separate video on that. If people are watching this now, then let me know, and I can explain it now. But I don't want to dive into it right now. It's an explanation and a half, you know. Come on, it looks like we're gonna get filled. It looks like we're gonna trap these traders in. Okay, we're getting the stops now. I'm not panicking. This is it. I already told you, if I bought over here, my stop would have been here. My stop would have been here. So why am I panicking? Right? And we know that if markets want to move in a direction, stops need to get taken out, and we need to trap in more traders. So a lot of people are selling here. A lot of people are joining in their new shorts. That's totally fine. I might want to, POC could also be a target right now. But if we test the point of control and VWAP, a bit tricky. It gets a bit tricky because now you're bringing in a lot of new players, or you're bringing in a lot of people to force their hand, because we know that the majority of the volume is here, right? If we touch point of control and VWAP, it can go either way. It can go either up or it can go down, simply because you're forcing people to look and to take action on their trades. Right now, if we're considering volume at point of control, you're just watching. You're just watching the market to see what happens. But once we reach the majority of this volume, like I said, you're forcing people, or you're bringing people into the action. And when you're bringing people to the action, it can go either way. Look at all these orders get absorbed. A lot of contracts here. A lot of contracts here. Majority of these contracts are all selling. Well, when there's a seller, there's a buyer, but like the majority of these market orders are all selling orders, right? Because of the stops. So now I like the structure here. I like to see this volume and then no volume, because that's a little test that the market gives. It's like, okay, we want to transact here. We want to trade here. Let's see if we want to trade lower. We go a bit lower and then there's nothing, right? We get this, you know, we get less and less volume as we trade lower. I could get filled here. That's totally okay. Let's go. Now we see full capitulation. Okay, see, so now we're at the point of control. It can go either way. And now I'm forced to watch my trade. I'm forced to take action here if something happens. So what I want to see us come back into this rotation. If we come back into this rotation, I'm potentially adding on to my trade. Depending on how we act around this midpoint. I want to see us get back into that rotation. If not, then I'm going to be forced to stop out. We're trying to go back up here into this volume node. We have a few volume nodes that we need to get through. Right now we're building volume here. That's okay. Let's build a bit of volume. Let's come up here a little bit. Right, just a little bit. All right, so short late sellers who got in here, right? It's nice to see this. It's nice to see this because sellers who got in, let me clear this up here real quick. I want to say sellers who got in here at this breakdown, sellers who got in here, sellers who got in here, right? What do you think they're doing when they see price come back up? They're either holding or they're buying back to get out of their trades, right? Especially these guys, right? You have buyers and you have sellers here. Okay, so it's important to anticipate what could happen when you reach midpoint because of the buyers and the sellers. So you had a lot of selling here that's going to be turning into buying because, well, people don't want to lose money, or they're getting stopped out from here, or they're scratching here. Okay, and then you also have a lot of buying that will turn into selling, in the sense that a lot of these old buyers are now sellers because, well, either they're waiting for a breakout to take profit, or these guys are panicking. Oh, that looks like a penis. Either these guys are panicking, right, if they're buyers. So as price comes up and you're a buyer and you need to sell, you create resistance because you need to get out of your trade. So this resistance can look like this, and then it can fuel more panic from the buyers that are here. So it really depends on a few factors. One of which is there a bigger passive buyer in the market right now that's pushing this up? So if I was worried, then I would have scratched at 75, and then I would have sold at 75, and you would have seen market come down. Exactly what's happening right now. So this is not very good news for us. Not good news for us. We're within value though, and I think we're still okay. Crazy how we couldn't even get out of this rotation. We could even get back into this rotation. I hate it. Okay, now it's capitulation. Getting the right idea on these trades, but always on the wrong side of them. Some resistance at midpoint here. If we can come back up above 45. No, it's pure panic right now. So this is what happened wrong. I think. All right, let's try to analyze what went wrong here, simply because it's very important. I think the idea to buy this dip was right, simply because we did technically retest 84s. But the fact is, we never broke 84s. Was the indication that, you know what, perhaps we're going to go lower. And I think me holding this trade was the wrong move to do. Getting in on this trade with the expectation that you're going to stop people out and make a retest was fine, but the fact is we never got back within this rotation, and I think that's a mistake that we should cut out for next time. A lot of volume here overnight. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of volume, but I would say relative. Bounce off of this structure. But now I'm just trying to catch a falling knife, I realize. See if we can break out of this right here would be great. Oh, we got a 120 PnL. We're bid on the ES. could be dangerous if we go above 15s here. Just at the speed at which we came back up. This could be very dangerous. We have bids. Now you see you have this 250 on the bid. It came out of nowhere. Is he even going to get filled? I want to see if he gets filled. If he doesn't get filled, that's actually very, very bullish. There's absorption here. Somebody's sitting here absorbing all these buy orders, but like for how much longer, I don't know. Okay, we broke above. Very, very interesting to see what happens here at 33s. We have some structure to get through though. We have some structure to get through. We have this to get through. That you're kind of extended all the way here. They sold into this guy right away now. Does he have more to fill? That's what you want to see. You want to see if these contracts get absorbed. We're below value. We kind of got rejected off of this low volume node, but not necessarily to the tick. There was an attempt to push higher. We're still technically within the initial balance of the day. This is the 10-minute initial balance too, so it's such a wide initial balance. Could be a range day. Could very well be a range day. Could maybe test POC again very aggressively. If not, then we're obviously just going to continue lower. Some buying here. Oh, you have aggressive selling here. Aggressive buying. Despite this aggressive selling, we're still going to go down. Some buying. 24 to 50. This was 14 to 19. Now back to 16. You have selling up here. For sure. You have aggressive selling up here. So the buying up here is being absorbed and it's being matched by selling. So this right here is a two-way street between this and this, between 10 and 17. We break 17, I really think we can break 22. A lot of two-way going on here. Ooh, we went from 90 to 116 to 123, 124. The problem is all this buying and yet we're still not going up. That's very dangerous. It's very dangerous for buyers because there's a lot of buying up here, but that's still not enough to push the market past this point. These are getting swept like crazy. We have like these 5-point sweeps on Nasdaq. That's huge. Incredibly volatile today. I want to see us break this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go short. Otherwise, I could be on the wrong side of the trade, you know? It's like I feel like I got in at resistance, which is crazy. It's like every time I get at my price, we get rejected. It's like the worst sign. Big bummer. There's too much absorption at these areas. There's two things can happen. Either we reverse or we just continue down. And I think I'm trying to catch a falling knife here by hoping for a reversal. Too much volume being spent down here means that there's just more energy for it to go lower. And I think we took the right trade here. To reverse, the very least just to reverse, you know. I think we can test IB low. Took some off here just for profits. See if we can break lower. Broke 86s. We can break this IB low. It's a pretty weak structure over here. This massive wick. But we're coming up to yesterday's point of control though. At 470 is yesterday's point of control. Could get a bounce off of that, if not already. But it's very possible that we can break yesterday's point of control just because of all this selling. I mean, fuck, man. I was definitely on the wrong side. I was right to buy up here for sure, but I was wrong to hold on the retest. That was my mistake. I hope you guys learned from that. I know I have. I was wrong to hold on this retest. And it seems clear to me that I was also wrong to hold for this breakout, and I'll tell you guys why I had such a bad price. Big capitulation here. Take profit before there's reverses. Mitigated some of the damage onto the account, no problem. This was very clean here. We're at that trend line actually, right here. Interesting. So dumb, so dumb for me to actually think that I could catch this falling knife. So dumb. And not only that, I held, right? So here's the problem with this rotation where I made a mistake. I punted. I hoped. You know what I mean? Like you were hoping, and hope is definitely not a strategy. I got in at 13 here. I got in around here, 13, to buy the breakout. So essentially, I am buying at the high of this, thinking that we're going to break out, right? And that was a mistake. Especially because, after a move like this, I know for a fact that V reversals are very rare. So why would I want to buy here? That was just not right for me to do. Always, always, always better to go with the trend. The exact same way that I went up here. I went with the trend. I went with the trend up here. We broke out of this. Still within the range though, we broke out. And then obviously a failure is always in the cards, right? But this buying was a lot better. To buy here, go with the trend for that. All right, let's see what we do here now. How much selling do we have? Could we want to shake out everybody that went long overnight? It's like you shake out everyone that went long overnight just to restart the whole process and go back up. Like, it's a very typical equities thing to do. I think we got such a wide range, wide initial balance that, like, when you have a wide initial balance like this, it's typically a range day. Like, typically you want to stay within this initial balance. I think you get a lot of profit taking here. Some volume that built on this way down. Where 88s, 85s could be the target. Could still break 85s, but at least 85 could be a resistance here, so you'd want to take some off here. Selling, buying. That's the type of structure that you want to see. Now, the higher we go, the more buying you're going to get because guys who are short here are going to take profit and their trailing stops are going to get hit. So, you can watch out for that. You can play that card. But you want to see it curl up because you want to see trailing stops get hit to a certain point. Fill and pick. There you go. Tight stop here. I have a tight stop. No worries. If you want to catch a falling knife, you gotta have a tight stop. That's good. These guys are getting stopped out. These guys are taking their profits. Their trailing stops are getting hit. To a certain point, I think 87 could be a good target. Fuck, it could be a good target unless we get rejected real quick. IB low got rejected real fast. To the tick. Don't like that. You want to see this come down and then go up. You don't want to see this go below this volume node 63. 63 should be the stop. You want to see it at least test the midpoint of this volume node. These trapped shorts start to buy, and then it goes up. Come on, I can take another 10 points off of this. I could see that happen. But you don't want to see this come test this volume node again. If it tests this volume node, then this trade is no longer valid because it could easily curl down. You just want to see this shoot up from here. It looks likely with the way the price action is going, right? I'm out. That was it. I could still go. This could definitely still go, but that was a good trade. I think I made 200 off of that. Almost. I think I made 180 off of that. Now you could buy 85, 80 maybe? No, I think 78 would be the better stop. 77. For that continuation, you build the volume, you create a floor, and then you continue to push up. Again, you're still catching this falling knife. If you're buying up here, you're still catching a falling knife. So I went in with half size to try to take another punt to see if we can go higher from here. Point of control on ES is 2 points away, very, very close. Point of control on Nasdaq is still up here. It's a bit nuts if you'd ask me. Although this could technically be seen as the I don't know how much volume's up here. Oh, I see. Around this much. Can you see this? It's here. Right here, we could draw a line here. Not the straightest of lines, but that's the point of control. That's the most amount of volume in the day. It was all around here. And then the second most, you could maybe argue that this is the next. At 512, you could argue. Like a hidden point of control, but I don't know if this volume is anywhere close to like this volume. It's not. But anyway. And now we're just kind of nitpicking like crazy. Crazy people. Rejected off this point of control, but you don't see quick rejections off a point of control. You see like a bit of you know, at least a few candles, at least a couple of minutes spent before you get your move. We definitely have this to test out, right? It's funny because we just bounced off of the point here, the midpoint of the overnight consolidation. It's so crazy how I can get these so accurate to tick. I think maybe I need to start scalping Nasdaq more than just fucking holding. I could be a great scalper off these points, but I go for glory too many times. Like what? Like this bounce 99 to like 86, like 12 points guaranteed. but we're retesting it, or we're attempting to retest it. We're building a lot of volume here. 507 is the next midpoint to test. So right now we're testing the low of this box. We can maybe potentially test the midpoint, break the midpoint, and then test 19, 519 if we wanted to. But you're kind of hoping for a lot here based off of this massive sell-off. You're hoping for too much. Very unlikely that we get a full V reversal. If anything, we're going to get some structure, and then maybe in the afternoon we can attempt highs, perhaps. Could this have been the low of the day? Arguably, it could be. We could just see price go sideways and then move further up if that's what we want to see if we're in a bullish scenario. This is still a pretty good stop. Nothing has changed, right? We could still find support here based off of the low volume. I think if we start coming off of this, then you might be worried that the structure has been broken. So that's why you put your stop somewhere here. I put my stop pretty low actually. Okay, we broke this, but you want to see this get rejected off of low volume. You don't want to see any interest to transact here again. Exactly. This is what you want to see. You want to see this, but go faster, man. No. IB low could be the support. That's 50% of this move. This should be, if you want a clean break, this should be the last line in the sand. That's all right. ES is still not at its lows. I think Nasdaq is probably overshooting a little bit. Low risk, high reward. Like ES is still not at its lows. Technically, ES could find support, and then Nasdaq could really reverse off of that. If ES makes new lows, then obviously this trade is not good. But you want to see this reverse real quick, create a new rotation, go back up to 70, 75. We go up back up to 75. I like that. I like the odds very much so. Because this could be seen as one last attempt to make new lows. And that the market just decided, well, you know what, we actually don't want to go lower. And so now everybody could be buying this because of the fact that people could be looking at this as confirmation. As, look, we made a test, we couldn't go lower. So what more is there to do? You buy. We break 500, maybe. Yes, yes, it's 77, 78 would be that next target. If we go above that, because that's where we broke, right? That was the rotation that broke, and we found some resistance. We found some struggle here. We broke that struggle, and now we're retesting this struggle. So can we break the previous struggle to find a new struggle? I don't know if that makes sense, but like, if we come back down here, that's still no good. That's still no good. Yeah, no good. No, no, no. That came down way too quickly. That came down way too quickly. Now Nasdaq is really pushing lows and ES is lagging on this one. I don't think, like, I still wouldn't buy right now. I don't think. It's because Nasdaq is convincingly making lows, whereas over here Nasdaq was just kind of trickling down while ES was not. Man, it could be trapped left and right. You could be trapped left and right here. I don't like this. Bit of a divergence going on here between ES and Nasdaq. ES's value area is still up here. Nasdaq just brought value down. So now you have this whole, the value area is lower on Nasdaq, whereas the value area is still higher on, sorry, what am I saying? The value area on ES is down here, so price is within value area, whereas Nasdaq's value area is up here, so it's quite a divergence. Not to mention that we're making lower lows on Nasdaq, but ES is not making lower lows. This is nice to watch. This is nice to watch on both. Just wait for this, wait for this. Retesting 78s now. 78s being retested. I don't think we get rejected here. I don't think so. If we do, then so be it. Massive rejection off of both markets here. ES is still strong. For now, ES is still strong. Watch ES here. Watch ES if we make a clean break off of this. It's hovering. ES wants to make this break though. You could tell. Nasdaq's just waiting for ES. Okay. Go make a clean break. Clean break the POC. Fuck me. Come on. Come on, I want to sucker all the retail traders in here. Make them think we're going to make lower lows. Yes, come on, make a higher high here. Come on, go above 40. Oh my god, no, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Fuck me if it's not trying though. It's like ES wants to, Nasdaq doesn't. It's like Nasdaq is like holding ES back for whatever reason. All right, we broke out. We broke out. We don't want to see a rejection. We just want to see a clean break from here. Clean break, and I think Nasdaq will just shoot. Nasdaq's struggling for sure, fuck. There's volume that was spent here. Like, this is so enticing to short. It's like you want to short this based on the price action, based on the fact that you see it struggle. But because you want to short it makes me think that it's a trap for shorts. At least that's how I feel. All right, we're 14 points on side, getting on to 15 points on side. This could be a big break though. Or it could be a big trap. It's so fucking tricky. There you go. Come on. Come on. I don't want to see this come down now. I want to see all these retail traders tap out. Just tap out all the way. Let's go. This is just a lot of energy that's bursting. 95's resistance. Break 95. Test 07s. Gotta take profit here. I just gotta take profit. It's been a rough day, but we're making the money back. But I should totally stop, and I should not go for glory here. I shouldn't go for greed. Maybe a retest and then break? Very possible. Yeah, retest the POC here on ES. Could be just what we need to break VWAP, test IB high. Same thing here. You know that the IB low was massive resistance support, support turning into resistance, resistance turning to support. Broke once, twice, we tested once, tested twice, we struggled here as well, you can see. We struggled around here. And now, technically speaking, this should be support now. This should be support. But it's crazy how 95s, like I said, if you want to scalp, man, creating these rotation boxes is the way to go. There's an art to drawing these boxes, but man, when they work, they work. They work for scalping, right? But they also work to give you structure and to give you an idea of what's happening. Because when you break this rotation and then you don't test it, this could become a resistance here because of the fact that we broke out of this rotation, we come back in it, and now people who are trapped within this rotation are creating resistance so that they make it so that once you get within their price, they want to either get out at a loss or scratch their trade. You see this a lot. Now I need to study, and it's what I'm trying to figure out is when would these break and when would this retrace. My theory is based on take profits and trapped traders. Like, how many more people are trapped versus how many more people need to take profit? And I need to study and I need to figure out when and where and how. ES is still strong though. If ES comes off, then yeah, maybe it's bad for Nasdaq, but ES is still here at the support. Now you got trapped on both sides. You got guys trapped here, guys trapped here. So you get this bounce from here, then you get this bounce from here until one of these two are out of their positions. Now I expect a bounce from here. I expect one because of these guys. But if you don't get one, then these guys all got stopped out. ATR is 22. Let's change this PNF now to something lower, 110 PNF. Yeah, a 110 PNF is nicer. You get to see more of the rotations that are going on here. See, this in and of itself is a rotation. So technically speaking, if you're short, you don't want to see this go back here. It's a weaker rotation. This can break easily, but still gives you the idea that this should be resistance because you broke one rotation, two rotations, you break. This should be resistance. And again, see, it is. It's acting out to be resistance. The same way this was a rotation, it broke. We break 75, we reach 85 minimum. And we're trying to make low lows here. Lower lows. There's a passive buyer. Absolutely, there's a big passive buyer here. Oh, but look at that. POC just came down on Nasdaq. Ooh, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign at all. The structure here is volume building at lows. That is not a good sign. No, no, no. It's crazy divergence though. Nasdaq's like at its lows making triple low, and ES has barely come off. This is what kind of confuses me though. Because ES looks like it wants to rally. Nasdaq just looks like it wants to squeeze people before falling ES. It's like you can't, like, it's hard for me to believe this sell-off if ES is up here and Nasdaq is still here. See what I'm saying? I'll tell you though, it's not easy, man. It's not easy. But like you have to watch what one is doing. Like it's so important to look at this. And I wish if I had bond data, like data on bonds and other type of markets, I'd definitely be watching those, but I don't. At this point, this is just a squeeze, dude. This is a massive squeeze. Like here, 15. 15 is the target, I think, because there's no volume here. 15 could be the target. And it's not the first time we've looked at ES to take a trade on Nasdaq, or at the very least hold a trade on Nasdaq. Something we got to be doing a lot more. Very, very important. I hope you guys are watching this. This move caught a lot of people with their pants down. Midpoint has to hold here. We need to test these highs again. We need to. Midpoint held, but can we make higher highs off midpoint? That's the question. But for now, midpoint's holding. So it's quite possible we even break this 15 low volume node to make higher highs, simply because this was the bounced, right? I thought maybe 15s would be the bounce, but it wasn't. So I don't know. I don't think we make higher highs off of this and then come right back down. I don't know. I don't think we do. I don't think we do, but we'll see. I think we test this rotation, we break this rotation, but I don't think we come back down if we're doing that. If we do, then, you know, I'm wrong and I'm out of my trade, and that's what to expect. Because I'm expecting one thing, and if one thing doesn't happen, then, you know, obviously I'm wrong. I think this volume building here, bit of struggle. I think this is going to be enough to just shoot us high. VWAP could be the next point, and then old point of control could be the next one. Come on, come on. Break 15s. There you go. There's this volume here that needs to kind of just go through. It's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I think we can do it. These guys all got caught with their pants down though. Everybody over here got caught with their pants down. So the amount of energy right now that's being like unwinded is the reason why we're going up. So this is like a nice resistance here. You get out here if you want to. Because of this bounce. So you can get a bounce here, but that does not necessarily mean that this is the point of reversal. But look how much catching up Nasdaq has to do with the ES. ES is almost at its IB high. ES is almost at the IB high. I repeat, ES is almost at the IB high. Nasdaq is nowhere near its IB high. Nasdaq is like the halfway point. So either ES is overextended or Nasdaq is really, really lagging. But we all know Nasdaq can make up 50 points in a matter of minutes. Well, we just fucking did that. From 50 to we made 70 points in a matter of like 6 minutes, 7 minutes right here. These two candles. 70 points. Watch out for ES's midpoint at the initial balance. Either VWAP or midpoint is the support. You got to understand what happens when you do this though. Look. When you shoot and you break the 50 and you break the 61%, you're essentially saying to the market that I don't want to go down anymore. I want to make attempts for a full retracement. The 38% should have been that area where you wanted to see it get rejected and come off. At the very least a 50%. But you don't want to see a break of the 50, a break of the 60. You don't want to, because if you're short, if you're a big player and you're short, why do you want to see price come back up here? Do the same for Nasdaq. This was a strong move, strong. Nasdaq is at its 38%. For Nasdaq, we know that Nasdaq is the weaker one of the two simply because Nasdaq was making lows while ES was not. So if there's anything you want to be long in, you want to be long ES and then short Nasdaq. But you got to do one or the other. You can't do both. Look, Nasdaq is so volatile today. Like, Nasdaq is not respecting anything at all. You could go bid here. Bid for the reversal. This is the midpoint, but the test of this midpoint, we're building volume here. This could be enough to, you see? I think I lagged a little bit, but you guys saw that it just shot down. It's the ES midpoint that you want to look at right now because I think Nasdaq is following the ES. If ES makes a move, Nasdaq will make like twice or 3 times that move. It's important to know that like we are literally above the midpoint of this initial balance. Nasdaq, we are way below the midpoint of the initial balance. Again, one of these two is not, one of these two is out of balance right now. So I'm going to watch and I'm going to scalp off of ES's midpoint. So when ES reaches 3150, I'm gonna buy Nasdaq. I wasn't looking, fuck me. Point of control is the next one. I don't want to average in. It's just crazy though. Like, that's the thing though. You need to be watching ES right now. This, let's extend this. It's like here, you need to be watching ES. Because when ES touches here, Nasdaq could literally be at the lows. Not going to get suckered into this buy. I know that was quite aggressive on the reversal, but I'm not going to get suckered into it. Okay, ES is bouncing off of its trend line. Might be a trap though. We might be a trap. This might be a trap for buyers to get in and then whoosh, right back down. But so far we're just waiting. ES breaking above its point of control again. Another structure that we're looking at here is this. Extend it here? Yeah, you could definitely extend it here. I mean, you could see that, but let's not do it. It gets too messy otherwise. There. This range between 58 and 73 is really, really good. breakout from 73, 85 would be the next resistance. You see how as the day goes on, you create a lot more structure and a lot more areas of bounces? A retrace in the back here is bearish. It's technically seen as a failed breakout. Let's go. This is not good for sellers. It's not good for sellers over here, not good for sellers down here. Where did this go? Did I mess up? Did I mess this up? No, I did not. Maybe we get a rejection off 38%, who knows? But I think if we don't, we're easily breaking the 50. Again, we're way above the 50 on ES, so I don't think we should be looking at what Nasdaq is doing right now. I think we should be following what the ES is doing. right now, trading off of Nasdaq. We're coming up to that lunch hour mark. I don't want to be holding any positions during lunchtime. See, it's almost 12 o'clock lunchtime for a lot of institutions. For a lot of traders, really. We see a breakout of this. Come on, we can test VWAP on Nasdaq. Test the IB high at the very least. Let's go, baby. Come on, give it to us. We've worked so hard today. We deserve this. We deserve this breakout. Come on, you know you want to break out before lunchtime. Don't be such a tease. Go test midpoint on Nasdaq. Or not, whatever. Let's go. Point of control just moved back up on ES. That's great. We're back at where volume was previously. So we're like saying, so essentially we're just saying we want to trade here now. Or at the very least, we want to trade back higher. We tried down here, now we want to trade back higher. Give it to me, baby. That's it. That's it. That is it. I don't want to be bold, but I do think we test highs today. I don't want to be bold, but I am being bold by saying that. I don't think we do it now, but I do think we do it today. I mean, I think we have the potential to do it. I think we can do it. I don't want to say that we will do it, but we have the potential to do it. You break this, you break 25s, then you've definitely had the potential to test highs today. Just don't get rejected, my guys. Come on, don't get rejected here. I want to see panic. I want to see panic from sellers. I want to see buying, a lot of buying. This is not enough buying for me. There's selling here that's being held, which means your limit orders are going higher, but that's not enough. There you go. Come on. Come on. Make new highs. Come on. Hit 13, hit 14, hit 15, hit 16. ES definitely wants to break the IB. ES breaking IB, Nasdaq hits midpoint. That's how it works. I think Nasdaq today is like half of ES. We can look at it that way. ES breaks 50%, Nasdaq breaks 38%. No, I don't like this. This breakout's not going to be easy. They're not going to give it to us very easily. They're not going to give it to us in lunchtime. I like that every sell-off is getting rejected. Every like dip is just getting like rejected back up. I like that. I think that says a lot about markets. I like this behavior. I like this big wick. See a big wick like this, you can definitely break the previous candle. High probability of breaking the previous candle by a few points. Very least by a few points. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Break it. Break it and break it good. Mother fludger. Like, am I being greedy or am I being realistic, you know? I don't think I'm being too greedy here. I still think we break. Like, clearly I'm not trading the money here. I'm trading, like, the trade. I think we break. I think we hit VWAP at the very least. I think we can hit midpoint if we break the initial balance high on ES. This has a potential to unwind a lot. A lot. If I was greedy, I would be adding. That's an idea. A shit idea, but it's an idea nonetheless. It's a double top. I don't know. Now I don't know. Now the fact that we haven't just broken out, I don't know. Take some profit, I guess. Don't be stupid. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're not getting this breakout right now. It's 12 o'clock almost. The probability of volume, in order to get a breakout, you need volume. You need some action. You need some poof, you know? And I don't see it at lunchtime. It's rare. It could happen, but I just don't see it. We essentially went from a $600 loss to an $85 profit. Sorry, to a $120 profit. Oh yeah, now you go. Now you go. That's okay. I think I'm done trading. I think today was a shit day that turned out to be a good day. Or not a shit day. We ended the day in profit. We didn't make as much money as we wanted, unfortunately. But I don't want to push my luck here, considering it's noon. You see, this is what I'm saying. Like lunchtime, as we get into lunchtime hours, it's like you don't have the same volume. You don't have the same energy. Institutions are taking a break. Institutions aren't taking in new orders. Even billionaires gotta eat. I gotta follow my rules. I mean, these past couple of streams, I've always said I should not be trading past 12. I'm not gonna trade past 12. There you go. That was the trap, and now it's gonna go up and up and up and up. We broke the IB high. This has to hit midpoint. This has to hit 40. At the very least 40. I'm sorry, but at the very least 10 points from here. There you go. That's it. I got out a bit early, but it shook me out, man. It shook me out in profit. I can't really complain. It was a bummer. Like, I put myself in such a bad position since the morning. It was this trade that fucked everything up. And then I was stubborn on this trade. I bought again and I bought again. And then eventually I said, you know what? I'm going to go short. And then when I went short, we made profit. But when I went short, that's when we started reversing. It's like, what the fudge? What the fudge? It do be like that sometimes, I guess. But what the F? So anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys learned how not to be stupid like me. But then I hope you guys learned that when you do realize you're being stupid, you stop being stupid and you turn your trades around. And this is hurting me right now because we broke out. A little bit impatient. I just got out of my trade because I've been struggling all morning. I was down, like I said, I was down $600 in the morning. Well, technically I was down 1,200 because I have two accounts. So I was down 1,200 in the morning, and then to go from 1,200 to about 300, or yeah, around 200, to go from 1,200 to $200 profit, was pretty good. That's 1,200 loss to $200 profit. I think that's pretty good. I think you take that and you run and you come back tomorrow with a fresher mind. And that's all you can hope for. So on that note, if you guys are watching, thank you for watching. If you guys watch this later on during the day, during the evening, or whenever, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments. Anything that you would like to see in particular, please do let me know. That being said, I am out of here. Hefe, I just saw you joined. Tough luck, buddy, but I am out of here. And I will catch you tomorrow. See you guys. See ya, Hefe.